It is hard to overstate technology's pervasiveness and power in modern-day life. We can hardly go anywhere or do anything where we are not touched by information technology. With data becoming the currency of business transactions and decisions, IT has clearly moved from just back-office support to a fundamental enabler. The average company spends 4 to 5% of revenues on IT, and the highly IT-dependent spend over 10% of revenues, making IT the single largest expenditure outside labor costs. As its importance and complexity grows, business leaders are also starting to realize that IT is a risk they need to better understand and control.
We've grown to the point where we track 25 million transactions per day on our platforms with an increasingly complex product mix. For the most part, we don't have problems. But every once in a while, we see an unexpected failure. Many times it's just a quick restart. But sometimes we need to recover data. We could afford it before, but it's getting too noticeable and expensive to correct. And some of our customers are starting to defect.
In fact, we've come to accept IT software to be remarkably faulty. We've learned to live with project failures and IT mishaps, and we've allowed the fragility of IT software to impede the business from introducing new revenue opportunities. But must it truly be this disheartening? There is another commercial software industry that parallels the IT industry, the software that's embedded in manufactured devices. In the case of embedded software, the risk of failure is a product recall, with all the associated costs and impact to image. In some cases, the risk is even higher. Manufacturers understand that software is as much a part of the end product as the hardware, and the product development process applied to all components is very mature and highly engineering-driven. As a result, embedded software is engineered to be nearly defect-free, or certainly much more so than IT software. In business IT, the software must follow rapidly changing business needs, and all effort is focused on getting the right functionality as fast as possible. Naturally, too much focus on software quality, let alone engineering, are seen as distractions from serving the immediate business need. After many years, the software written to meet the evolving needs of the business grows into incredibly large multi-component applications. These are vast, intertwined structures that are risky to alter. Just to illustrate the size of the problem, if the major critical business systems of a typical enterprise were printed on regular paper and placed on one's desk, that would be a stack of paper as high as the Eiffel Tower. And, with every release, new business requirements are added and all thrust into the same application. Now, of course, all new enhancements get tested before going into production. But testing is inherently focused on making sure the functionality being added is what the business asked for. It is not focused on assessing the mechanics of how the software actually operates. So, with large complex apps and shrinking timelines, it's less and less feasible for everything that needs to be to get thoroughly inspected. Beyond testing, most IT executives look to their technical experts to ensure good construction of their software.
I have a team of 6 working in my office. We have to help design new apps, redesign old apps, and set technology direction for IT. We do sample code reviews to spot check our most critical apps, but it's not humanly possible to review everything for every release. So we have to believe that our developers and sourcing partners know what they're doing.
In most cases, the technical architects are tied up in key projects. Plus, the issue of evaluating developer work product borders on performance management, best left for project managers. Line management, however, is just not equipped nor incented to keep track of how well the software is being developed. In fact, the construction of the software itself is usually just not managed. To make matters worse, IT software is typically built by globally distributed teams, all working on their own components of this giant moving puzzle. As applications grow more unwieldy, the quality risks actually become an obstacle to business agility, leading to a vicious cycle of rising cost, sinking customer satisfaction, delayed time to market, and a hazard to the business. So, as business presses for shorter turnaround, it's no surprise that we have occasional systems issues that we all experience. The problems we hear about are just the tip of the iceberg. There are many more unreported issues that hurt business on a regular basis. Worst of all, IT executives have traditionally been unable to manage this issue proactively, resorting to expensive quality remediation projects when it's already too late.
I've been in IT for 25 years. We are always bound by large, complex legacy apps that run the business. While I can actively manage risk in every other aspect of my shop, data center, project plans, business requirements, and the like, I've always had to take it on faith that we are constructing healthier software for the business than we did in the past. I talk to my peers in the Global 2000. We all have to rely on blind faith, and it's uncomfortable. There's a growing sense of urgency to control the cost and risk of quality based on facts.
We all know what it's like for business to be hurt by obscure, risky assets. Unless we can identify a means for executives in charge of these assets to control their risk to the business, who knows what might happen? Will business leaders have the appetite to keep taking a chance on the software that runs their operations? Will they continue to turn a blind eye to the ticking time bomb their software is becoming with each new release? Or will they demand that IT tackle the risks of poor IT software head-on? The choice is clear. Either IT software becomes a risk and an obstacle, or transforms into a true business enabler.